Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it's that you may be around the world. Bank holiday weekend is approaching. Well, Bank holiday Monday, should I say, is approaching. Lots to go through. Man United won, Chelsea won. Lots to discuss in regards to this game. Why didn't Chelsea win it? Why couldn't they win it? What were the reasons? Or are they the same old issues that we have at our football club? We're going to be talking about all of that. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions as well. But we're also going to be going through some stats. We'll be doing the player ratings as well. Opening up the lines a bit later to get the panel involved as well and get their thoughts and opinions, guys. But other than that, let's get really into it because there's a lot to talk about after yesterday's performance again. And unfortunately, not for me on the most brightest of notes. Even though we played well and dominated the game, possession-wise, we were dominant. I still feel there's a lot to question. So before we get into all that, you know what I need you guys to do? Smash the like button. Let's get them likes up. Subscribe if you're new to GNA TV as well. Share on your socials if you can. Share on your Twitters, Instagrams, whatever. Let everyone know that GNA TV is live. And before we move forward, let's cue that intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well where it is that you may be around the world. And we're here to discuss the game last night. Manchester United won, Chelsea won. Yes, I repeat, Manchester United won, Chelsea won. Now, when you hear it, when you hear me say that, straight away you think to yourself, Man United must have played well. Man United must have had some chances. Man United must have, given Chelsea a game. Given us problems. It was the complete fucking opposite. We actually dominated the game. We were in control of the game. We had most of the chances. We had most of the possession. We limited them to pretty much nothing. And we come out of a draw. And I put out a comment on social media about how I'm sitting there on the 80th minute watching this game. And I'm confused. I'm lost. I'm like, this can't be right. How is it 80th minute? And then I look at the scoreline and I'm like, what? We're drawing 1-1. But it feels like we should be 3-4-0 up. And I'm just scratching my head. I'm genuinely just scratching my head. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is not normal. You cannot play the way we played yesterday. You could not have played the way we played yesterday and came out with a point. Come out with a point. It makes me laugh. Listen, this by far, for me, is probably the worst Manchester United team I have ever seen in a long time. And they've had some bad teams. But yesterday, they had no intensity. It was like watching the training game. That's what it was. No intensity, allowing us time on the ball, looked lost, didn't know what to do, out of position. We played well to the standards that we know we can play in terms of our intensity. But when you go to, you're not going to get a better opportunity of going to Old Trafford against Manchester United and convincingly winning like that and watching them play as poor at home as that. And we still couldn't beat them. 2013 was the last time we beat Man United at Old Trafford. The worst Man United team, I guarantee, that we've played since 2013, even though we've drawn so many there and lost a couple. And we still could not beat that team. And we created constant chances. And he's saying today's stream isn't about pointing fingers at Thomas Tuchel. Today's stream is not about pointing fingers at Thomas Tuchel. The guy could do nothing wrong. All right, you could maybe argue he could have made substitutions a bit earlier, i.e. But still, what impact did anyone have? This is, you know, I know some people got annoyed with my comments when I read, you know, since Tuchel's made the substitutions, the bench has given zero impact. It was literally zero impact. It was no better. It was no better than having Mason Mount, Werner and Havertz on the pitch. Lukaku came on, just stunk the place up, and Pulisic hardly got involved in the game. Like, my point is this, it's not that I'm sticking up for one bunch of forwards to the other. They're just all so inconsistent. And I'm laughing. I'm getting to the end of the season. And all I can do is laugh. Because it's just laughable. I don't know what to say anymore. I was sitting here last night saying to myself, what am I going to say to the viewers of GNA TV tomorrow? How am I going to explain this performance in front of these viewers? Over 60 of you here already, 60 minutes in. Big up to everyone. Hit the likes as well while we're at it. I said, how am I going to explain this performance? You know, do a tactical breakdown. I'm going to do a tactical breakdown of how we played on this one. I couldn't. Because the clear and easy answer to why we didn't win yesterday was because we were wasteful. We were inconsistent and wasteful. As usual. Wrong decisions in the final third from certain personnel. I ain't going to say names on personnel because we're doing the player ratings later. And we're going to talk about them players. But certain personnel's final passing, they all look at their feet. None of them look up. It's ridiculous. You know, we bang on and moaned about the midfield, moving that ball quicker, moving that ball into the forward line, into the, you know, so that we can transition into quicker attacks. Yesterday, and I don't want to say their names, but the midfield two done that. The midfield two done that yesterday. They did move the ball quicker. And in fact, one individual actually impressed me. Well, both of them did to a degree. They done all they could have done from what I've been asking them to do. All right, it's not consistent, but in this game, it was good. And then it just falls to the forward line. And they get the ball quickly. Yeah, and instead of just turning around, looking up and watching the movements of players in front of them, they look at their feet and just run. Run. That's what they were doing yesterday. Run. You got Werner running one way. You got someone else running the other way. But these lot want to have 400 touches before they make the pass. If that was Liverpool, if that was Man City yesterday playing that Manchester United team, they would have been 2-3-0 up by half time. And that is the real big difference between the two. That when we find ourselves in the final third, our final decision making is poor and slow. I don't know why people are blaming Kante. Why are people blaming Kante? Why? Why are you blaming Kante for this one? Actually, Kante had one of his best games that I've seen in a while. What are we blaming Kante for? When we got a forward line that can't fucking score. Literally, yesterday's game only. And I always review it on a game-per-game basis. And we're talking about yesterday's game at the moment. I don't care about the last couple of games. I'm talking about today's game. They just couldn't score. I mean, over 60 of you here. Big up, everyone. Let's just quickly say hello to some people in the chat. Sorry. I didn't even get to go into my stats and whatever. I just went straight into this. I had to just talk about this game because it was so frustrating. I was so frustrated of this game. So annoying. It annoys me so much. It gets to me. Hurts when we play like that because it just shows how far away we are. Maybe this squad isn't what we think it is. Maybe we do need a number of new players. We do need a rebuild. We're going to have to rebuild anyway because certain personnel leaving and some more personnel potentially leaving on top of that. We are going to have to heavily rebuild. We are going to have to back this manager and then we're going to have to give this manager time to build his own project, his own style, his own idea. Whether it's the 4 at the back, whether it's the 3 at the back. Yeah, we'll get into it. Big up to Kante, Sosa, RD, AK. Sorry if I'm not reading your comments at the moment. It's just because I just need to get through this. Josh, big up to you. The vibes in the house. Concierge of crime. Exactly what he says there. Musa, nice to see you. Grey Wolf Dinner, who we haven't seen in a while, is back in the stream as well. Mustafa, big up to you. One Rovers vlog, nice to see you, my bro. Go and check him out as well on YouTube, people, if you can indeed. What else have we got here? Kevin, nice to see you as well. M3, big up to you. Everyone did call a draw yesterday, but that game wasn't played as a draw. It wasn't played, and I'm going to go through it all. We're going to go through some stats. We're going to go through some of the match stats, whatever, and then we're going to do the player ratings. And I can't do a tactical breakdown today for you guys. I can't sit there and tell you and drag players and go, this is what we did wrong. Because tactically and in the way that we played the game yesterday, we didn't do much wrong. We just didn't finish our chances. Like, I can't, there's no point of me doing a tactical breakdown. Because tactically, I think Tuchel done the right thing. I think he played the right players. Big up to Gary. United had one chance. We give them exactly. And Ronaldo has not scored against Chelsea in the Premier League once. And what do we go and do? Let him do that. Now he scored against every team in the Premier League after scoring against Chelsea. And that goal, as much as you want to say Kante, and I still don't really get why, because he shimmied off his knee after getting punted at it, and then he kind of tried to recoup it, was Aspilicueta. He's just, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was looking at. We'll get to that in a bit. Brianak, nice to see you. Nice to see you in the house as well. Big up to Seppers in the house. Declared is in the building as well. Damien Duff is here as well. Big up to you. Sosa, Hafsiz, nice to see you in the house. There's so many people today. Thank you for all tuning in, guys, as always. Big up to all of you guys. Big up to every single one of you. Matata as well. Carefree FC, my bro. How was anybody surprised? Didn't even bother watching the game. I don't blame you. Liam, nice to see you, my man. Trying to figure out these attackers who are just pure wasteless in chances. Yep, bro, you couldn't have said that any better. Nick Blue is in the house. Big up to you. I didn't blame the subs. I don't know why people really don't listen to what I say, do they? People generally do not listen to what I say. It's funny. They just take from what they want to listen to, and then they make it themselves. They don't actually listen. It's funny. I'm not even going to argue with my own fan base because I just can't be asked. You're all going to have your own opinions. Whether I think I'm right or wrong, whether you think you're right or wrong, doesn't matter. That's what we're here to do. Give our own thoughts and opinions. Big up to Josh. Big up to Matthew. Yeah, boy, big up to you, man. Chelsea fan. I've seen if there's anyone else I've missed. Have I missed anyone else? Josh, don't do this. It's wrong what you're saying. Oh, Havertz has had a bad couple of games. We've not seen any consistency from any of our forwards. Christian Pulisic scored one goal. Callum Hudson-Odoi. I see some people saying Callum Hudson-Odoi should have been playing yesterday. Lukaku should have come on the pitch. I even said maybe Lukaku should come on. Havertz should be taken off. I know certain players should have been taken off at some point, but him starting them players didn't surprise me. Werner, Mount and Havertz does not surprise me, to be honest. It doesn't matter what we do or who we bring on and if, how they impact the game, because they can impact one game. It's just the next game they toss pot shit and they go ghosting and they disappear. And that's the truth. Yeah, but what does he do in the other end? How many fucking chances has he missed? How many chances has he missed this season in front of goal? I like Christian Pulisic, but this thing that we do as a fan base, which really frustrates me, is that we try and pick up one forward. We try and pick up one forward to better the other because the other missed opportunities. When the truth is, none of them are better than each other. They're all got their own weird deficiencies. They're all missing the one big thing that they all can't do because they can't hold their position in the team. They are inconsistent. If they wasn't inconsistent, they wouldn't be dropped. This is why they don't stay on the pitch long enough. And this is my thing. That we just need to accept that. There's no way in hell I'm sitting here and I'm going to accept people for blaming Thomas Tuchel. The way we played yesterday was top. There was nothing wrong with the way we was playing the game. It was just when we got in front of goal. So if your argument is that Kai Havertz, Werner and Mount, one of these shouldn't have been playing for Pulisic, who would have had chances and put him in the back of net. That's a big if and a but for me. Yes, he scores these goals, but he's definitely missed some as well. The same as Lukaku. I think we forget the guy missed a 3-yard header against Real Madrid at home. Like, they all are not consistent. Yet we brought one player in to just eliminate that so that we didn't have to rely on these players, these forwards, to have to, you know, these other guys that are playing as attacking forwards, to have to be the clinical ones, to have to do the 15, 20 plus goals a season. That's not what we want, even though it's nice to have. Yes, they need to score goals and contribute, but not to the level that we need to or require to narrow the gap between Man City and Liverpool. We haven't got that. We still haven't got it. We just still haven't got it for me. You know, I don't agree. You know, Tuchel for me got shut on yesterday, personally. That's the way I see it. You know, he gave them the opportunities in front of goal. They did, you know, they played the right team. They played well, and we made chances for players in front of goal, and they didn't take it. You know, you can sit there if you want between you and argue about one player playing over another or whatever. Yes, Havertz has been out of form. Did it shock me that he played him? No, it didn't. Maybe he could have rested him, but he didn't. You know, for me, you switch him and put Ziyech or Pulisic in there. Are they 100% burying them chances? No. That's how unconfident I feel about all our forwards. You know, and Kai Havertz is not on the game. We know that. We know that. But anyway, let's get into this because I've been talking for 17 minutes. 17 minutes. All right, let's go through some quick stats, shall we? Starting off with this one. Only 3 opposition sides have had 20-plus shots in the Premier League game against Man United at Old Trafford since 16-17. Tottenham have had 22 shots in 2020. Chelsea have done it again this season. The only team this season to, again, have had more than 20-plus shots at Old Trafford and walk away with a draw. Watford, 20 back in 2019. Somehow Chelsea didn't win. Exactly. Somehow Chelsea didn't win. After having that many shots, we scored 1. But out of all them shots, and you're going to see them out, I think it was only 5 or 6 on target. 5 or 6 on target. We're now going to move on to a comment from Man Like Con, my boy. He's saying, if you ever needed to know how important Reece James is to Chelsea, here are a few stats for you. Biggest XG over performer, highest XA per 90 minutes, second most key passes per 90 minutes, 4th highest goal scorer, and the 2nd highest assister for Chelsea. Just goes to show how good this boy is. And I keep saying this, and this is one thing I'll stick by. He is our best Cobham player. By far, I may say. He's the most talented. And I still think he hasn't reached his ceiling. I think he can get better and better and better. He was unbelievable. He didn't deserve to have drawn that game. Yeah, he maybe could have scored when he hit the post off his left foot on his weaker foot. But everything about him yesterday, going forward, getting back. And this is what I'm saying. He is so much more better. We look so much better when Reece James is playing as a wing-back. Azpilicueta came in. Azpilicueta came in and played as a right centre-back as well, which a lot of us thought wasn't going to be the case. I actually tweeted and said, I think it's going to be Reece James there, but he didn't. I'm glad he didn't. Reece James games by numbers versus United. 100 aerial duels won, 90% passing accuracy, 112 touches, 13 duels won, 10 touches in the opposition box, 10 crosses, 5 take on attempted, 4 takes on attempted, 4 tackles, 4 shots, 3 chances created, 3 fouls won. Chelsea's best player by a mile for me. He was unbelievable yesterday. What a player we have in Reece James. Now, I want to fly on to quickly the stats because we have to do the match stats. We always do the match stats here. And this pretty much sums it up, this comment. Chelsea need a striker. Holy, what are these stats? And we walk out with, what are these stats? And we walk out with a draw. Man United fans, a draw was a win for you. There you go. There you go. So in 90 minutes of football, Marcos Alonso scored a great finish with his left foot. And let me just say again, I think Marcos Alonso is probably a better finisher than most of our forwards in them positions, which is very unusual. Well, not unusual. He's just technically better in front of them in them positions. Cristiano Ronaldo then goes and scores by a fallen asleep moment, something that Man United didn't offer much of. Man United were non-existent throughout most of that game, of this game today. Look, here we go. 21 shots on target to their 6. Now, they had 6 shots on target, and half of their shots were on target. So 6 shots in overall, half were on target. Chelsea had 21 fucking shots and only had 6 on target. Is that even a quarter? Is that even a quarter on target out of 20? We dominated possession by 65%. Absolutely battered it. Our passes were more. Our passes accuracy was better. But what is just killing, and something that we thought we eliminated last year by bringing in that fucking lamppost up front, we are just not clinical enough. We are not a Liverpool and we are not a Man City. Because if they would have had that many shots on target, I guarantee they would have at least been 2-0 up, minimum. Or would have scored 2 goals within that game. You know, it was a better performance. Don't get me wrong. It was a different type of performance to the performances that we've seen of recent. Of course it is. It was a better overall performance from the boys. But what's this? But again, it's still a big issue that our forward line are inconsistent and they do not know how to finish the job off. We could have played to 12 o'clock last night and we would have still been 1-1 and we'd have had 50 shots. That's how bad it was. It's draining. Liverpool, Man City would have been 2-3 up at half time. I keep saying this. They would have. There's no way in hell that they would not have been that far ahead. Big up to Couch Critic in the house. I'm over it, Jen. We haven't spent a fortune on this attack and we're no further. Is what he's saying here. Reece deserves better. He does at the moment. There's talks about here. Big up to Hiker and Martin. You did miss my beginning rant, shall I say, on this, but you know, I'm still going to continue. Jen, we need more win backs and attackers like James who aren't afraid to take on their man one-on-one. And I agree. And this is why I keep saying the new owner situation has to be sorted sooner rather than later. We cannot be going into this transfer market on June the 10th without having a new owner in place and Tuchel being able to start buying players. We got to get rid of players. We actually need to have a rebuild. I've seen that for me. Fast forward the Premier League. Hopefully we just stay in third and just play the final against Liverpool. The final is a final. Anything can happen on the day. Maybe we turn up and we take these chances, which we didn't do the last time we played them. Yes, 100%. I can remind. He is our best natural talent. And we're going to talk more about him in a bit when we do the player ratings. But guys, get these likes up. We are going to open up the line soon as well. Over 100 of you here. 39 likes done. We should be on about over 50 now. So if anyone's not hit the fun button, please do that now. We will get the panel in shortly. We're going to fly through the player ratings in a second. And then we're going to go from there. You guys are far behind with the inclusion of players behind you. You need 3 windows to be our level. No, I disagree with that. It just, you could be right to a degree. But then it depends on, well, I'd say, Ram, it depends on what Chelsea do with the new owners as well and how quick they sort out. KJ is in the house. My God, KJ, long time, bro. How you been, man?
Yeah, I've been good. You know, I've been good. My life is blessed. My football team suck, but other than that, yeah, like I'm doing all right. You know, doing all right. Just thought I'd come through while I have a little bit of break from working. But yeah, man, I'm just letting you guys know already. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I was out living life. You know what I mean? Enjoying myself. It sounds like everyone involved had pain watching it. So yeah. But if
Besides,
you want to talk United in general, I can do that for sure.
yeah, 100%. I mean, yesterday, I mean, you could probably imagine it, KJ, especially from a Man United point of view, that you guys yesterday you didn't offer anything. Like the intensity in your game's gone. You gave us, it was like a training game, almost like a training game. Like you wasn't pressing us. There was no intensity. You had no build-up play. You really didn't create. All right, you had six shots the whole game, only 3 on target as well. Ronaldo obviously scoring one of them.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of just conceded to the fact, like it looked like you wasn't there. It's like you guys were on holiday. Like you just kind of conceded to the fact that you were just disinterested. Like it was a typical United performance. But for you, do you just feel that it's just the whole manager thing? Do you think the Ten Hag thing will give him a boost? He was in the stands, by the way, as well, and they still played like that.
Wait, was he actually there?
He was in the stands, apparently, as well. Yeah, that's what they said at the beginning.
He was there as well. Boy, that's not a good look. Yeah, I think everyone in everyone in the football club, from the players to Ralph to the structure, everyone's just focused on next year. I can't see anyone focusing on what's happening right now, especially the players. The players just look despondent. The players just look like they are sick of the situation, and massive changes are needed at this football club. And you see on the pitch the how bad things are. When United fans at the start of the season saying we should challenge, we rightly so said that, because 3 years into a project, people normally say that's when you have to start challenging. You bring in Ronaldo, Sancho, Varane, you got to start to show something, and it just went downhill. And it's not all just on Ollie's fault. A lot of it's on the structure of the board and the football club, because they didn't bring in the DM. You have money for Ronaldo, but not money for DM to make the midfield better. And then the players just ended up down in tools for Ollie. And then a new manager comes in, and you down tools for him too. So it's just been a disaster of the season. I'm just counting down towards the end of the season. Literally, I'm just like 3 games left, maybe 3 games left. Come on, like we're almost to the end. I want it to be done, and there's no quick fix at Man United. So in the summer, it's like, like we're back. We've got Ten Hag now and all that. Now it's gonna take some work, but yeah, everyone's checked out, including the fans. The fans are done. Like, I'm done with it.
Do you feel that the appointment of Ralph was potentially maybe the wrong appointment for Man United, or do you just feel that it's just the base of the players that just need to be changed?
So if you talk about just pure footballing sense, it's not the right appointment. If you want to talk about we wanted the guy to get us into the top 4, Ralph has clearly not been the guy to do that. What should have happened is you still bring in Ralph, but in his consultancy role, in more of a, again, maybe temporary sporting director, and then a consultancy role after that, and then bring in a manager who has managed in the last 3 years, because Ralph has not. You know what I mean? So that was probably, in terms of just footballing sense, the smartest thing to do. But if we're talking about just what it means for Man United, he's been the perfect guy. He has been the perfect guy, because he has come in, exposed what has been happening.
That's
the
true.
world know. He's not come in with no kind of like, he's not like Ollie interim where he's like, oh yeah, I love the club, I just want to do the best. Like, he's like, nah, bro, like, I'm here to show you how to run a football club. This man has had the years of experience. So what's up, guys? Thanks for the love in the comments. He's just got experience for years now in building clubs, building structures. And he's come in with the mindset of, wait a sec, you are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you operate like this. This is a disgrace. So he's exposed all of that. And if he wasn't doing that, I would be more annoyed at him. But because he's come in, showed everyone, not just Man United fans, but you guys can now see, as rival fans, you guys can now see the foolishness going on. I'm happy he's done that, and I'm glad this has happened. Man United have needed this. Man United have needed a season or a person to come in and things to be that bad that these arrogant, pathetic owners get to see what's really going on.
I don't think that the appointment of Ten Hag, even though I think he will bring a lot, and I think in terms of system structure, he will bring that into the squad. There will be a style. You have more of an identification in the style of the way that you play the game. It's just that I feel that bringing Ten Hag in is not the issue. The issue is the players that you currently have, and I'm not only just talking about some of the deadwoods that you have. I'm talking about some of your bigger players that have just not turned up. Like Marcus Rashford just looks so distant. Yesterday, I didn't even know he was on the pitch. KJ.
I've seen some clips, and I am disappointed.
He looks like his head's not there. He doesn't look interested in Man United.
If I was Ralph, I would have sent him weeks ago. I just would have sent him away. I just been like, yo, go on holiday. Like, you're not needed. This version of you is not needed at the football club. Come back and come again, because this version of Rashford upsets me. It frustrates me. It's disappointing to see, because he's gone past the point of, he's been injured. It's gone past the point of the pressures of being the face of the nation and stuff. It's gone past that now, and it's now about him, the individual, and he needs to. I think he needs to just literally go away from the football pitch, from Old Trafford, spend some time getting his mental space right, and then come again. And if that is the case, that he's still not good enough, then okay, you can get rid of him, sell him. But I think for me, there's still one season left in him there to see what.
Do you know what's mad, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, if you look at him ever since he's come back to Man United, hasn't had the greatest of games, but he's still the second highest top goal scorer in the Premier League with 17 goals. It's mad, isn't it?
Hey, when you're a goat, isn't it? Like, you just.
But you put him. I'm not saying you put him in that Chelsea lineup like yesterday. You put him in.
If he plays for you, he bags. Like,
he would have scored about 20 odd goals for Chelsea.
Like, he would be. If he played for anyone that isn't Man United, if he played for Chelsea, Liverpool, or Man City, he would be getting player of the year again. You know what I mean? But because he's just been that clinical.
He's a class act. And yesterday it was after, I remember, like, for the Chelsea fans side of things, the frustration again, like, you know, KJ, we spoke about in the football tips a number of times, like, where we were just so not clinical. It was the same thing yesterday. We had 21 shots on the game, but only 5 on target. And the 5 that we did have on target were like pretty much clear cut. Kai Havertz should have had 2. Let's just get it right. Like,
yeah.
So you had one side of the like us who were just so frustrated because we're still seeing the same shit in terms of not finishing off teams. If that was Liverpool, Man City, they would have been 2-3-0 up. I'm not joking. It would have been a battering. You know, and then the flip side, you've got Man United fans who are watching their team get absolutely exposed and battered and not even involved in the game, not even able to build up play or defense everywhere. Like,
it was a horrible game from the sounds of it. Both sets of fans aren't happy. Obviously, you've got both 2 big things that happen at both clubs. We're having a restructuring, new manager. I'll come back to that question as well.
Yeah,
new manager, new everything happening, and then obviously you've got the new owners, and you guys don't know what that entails for you guys. So both clubs are in this moment of uncertainty and awkwardness right now. So by the sound of it, the game reflected that, and I'm not surprised that went that way. The biggest thing I'm surprised that you still didn't beat us, bro. Like, we are like literally the worst footballing team in.
I didn't know you. But I said this to the viewers earlier. I said I have never seen that bad of a Manchester United team ever, and the fact that we couldn't even beat that, and we haven't beaten you since 2013. You know,
like
2013,
guys, boy. Like,
like, what does it say for us? Like, I know you guys have got your own problems, but we have our own fucking problems too.
Yeah. But the Champions League was obviously a big boost for your fans and the club. But I think now that euphoria is gone, and you see without the CL glasses, there's a lot of work to be done.
This KJ, Tuchel's sort of bent over back getting the best out of certain players that are just not consistent in their performances. So you've seen them over a small period of time do so much. Jorginho's, Christensen's, with these players, and now push comes to shove, full season, 38 games, going for the title. We've just got look. Listen, we were. I don't like using the whole injury things because Liverpool tried it and we put it away, but you know, we were playing games over Christmas with COVID and missing players. We only had 14 players at one point playing games.
Yeah, you guys have been through.
We have been through quite a bit, but still, it doesn't answer the question that the fact that we still are just not consistent. Like we can't finish our dinner, bruv. Like, and we bought Lukaku. We bought that lamppost into this team. 100 million to just end that. And this guy
you know what's mad? Yeah, one thing I respect about Tuchel is that he's actually benching the brother for not being good enough. Like I rate that. But when he came, I was sitting there. I was like, okay, cool. Like he's better than he's been, but there is a higher chance that he will revert back to type in the Premier League. And Man United fans were telling Chelsea fans this, and like, all we got is no. You're being salty. You're just sad that he's not going to be good. He wasn't good for you, blah blah blah. I was like, I told man about the thumbs up. I told man about the thumbs up, bro.
More thumbs up than he wants. I'm not even joking.
I'm saying, man. It's all mad. It's all mad. But yeah, in terms of this question, do I agree that saying if Ralph goes, it's dangerous for Ten Hag? It depends. So we're looking at getting Paul Mitchell in as a head of recruitment, director of football, debate, whatever you want it is. But we're looking at getting him in. If we bring him in, and then Ralph leaves his consultancy role, I would be a bit more relaxed about the situation and again give you more time. Obviously, he's being the new manager of Austria, and again, people are getting mad and vexed about it. It's like, oh, how can he do this? But bro, people do 2 jobs all the time. Like half the people's vets do 2 jobs anyway. So it is possible for him to be in a consultant and a international manager. That's doable. Like how it will work, I'm not too sure, but I'm willing to give that its own time. But if Ralph goes and it's just Ten Hag and Murta and Fletcher, I'll be concerned because not because those 3 they're by themselves are bad people or what they do. I just don't trust the people above them to actually listen to them. Whereas if you've got Ralph, Ten Hag, Mitchell, and Murta and Fletcher, you've got 5 people that I have to listen to. So yeah, like I'm worried. Wait, maybe one day, man. Maybe one day. We'll see, man. We'll see.
In that vibes, you've been promoted, haven't you, in the Football Terrace, from what I see?
Yeah, content manager now. So yeah, I'll be.
I mean, Terry can go more holidays now, does it?
Basically, that's where he is now. And man's in LA, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Big up to Big Ron, who's a Man United fan. He was on the show yesterday for the preview, going through stuff as well. KJ, that FIFA settings, club and country management. yeah.
I've done it before, actually. It's been fun.
What's your thoughts on? I know we've spoken quite a bit about Man United, but what's your thoughts on Chelsea this season from what you've seen up to now? Do you feel that they're, because at the beginning of the season we all thought that Chelsea were a lot closer to the Cities and the Liverpools, and the one thing I always keep saying to the people is that we've been found out in our squad depth massively. Like, our squad depth is quality is just not there right now. It's not at the levels of the Man Cities, even the Liverpools. When you look at what they did with bringing Diaz in, just that one player just excels them. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you make of Chelsea's sort of season up to now?
You know what? Yeah, like at the start of the season, I thought you guys would go all the way. To be fair, I actually thought you were going to win the league because I thought you've got defensive structure that is near impenetrable at the time. Mendy obviously was amazing. Thiago Silva in the back 3, Rudiger as well, was great. You had a midfield balance with Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic that you would rotate between those 3, and it was working. And then the only thing you was missing was goals, and obviously you brought in Lukaku, so it was one of the songs where actually, this guy should do the business. And if you guys don't win the FA Cup, as much as you've won the Super Cup and the Club World Cup, I think it'll be disappointing, like a disappointing season where it's like you was expected to challenge a bit harder than you have. Obviously, at the start you was, but like you fell away very quickly. Getting knocked out in the Champions League when really and truly you was in position to go through is again disappointing in itself. And then like the Carabao Cup is the Carabao Cup is harsh, you know what I mean? It's penalties. You had a goal disallowed for like the tightest of our sides.
KJ, man. We can't go to a final against Liverpool again and lose. That's how I feel right now.
So like you have to win the FA Cup, to be fair. Otherwise, it would. I said it. The Prime is like it would have been a disappointing season. And he goes, but how we've won trophies? Like it's like the trophies you've won. Like it's not the measure of a club. They're just one of those nice things to have on the side. It's not a failure. It's just.
I think there's context to it still.
Yeah. It's not, and especially with the whole thing with Roman as well and the ownership, like they can't control that, and that will always have an effect on the club. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a failure. It's more of a disappointment. You have higher hopes, but then all these things come through, and if FA Cup is the only thing that you can say you've had a good season. Other than that, you just have to go again and restructure.
This sort of record that Tuchel's had at Chelsea of pretty much reaching every final. So every semi-final he's been at with Chelsea's won and sort of got into the finals is good. But if you're not winning trophies at the back of it, like we've been to a couple of finals now and we've been losing them. Like
you lost FA Cup.
Yeah,
lost. So yeah, you lost FA Cup twice in a row, actually, haven't you? Because you were there
Twice, Leicester and Arsenal. We lost to Liverpool in the Carling Cup.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting there. We're doing like everything we can. We just, I don't know. I don't get it.
Literally, your saving grace is that you won the biggest final in like football besides the World Cup. You know what I mean? Which is the Champions League.
A lot of these players, though, didn't it? To be fair, a lot of these players got saved from that Champions League. To be fair, but I still think we need to have a big clear out, and this is why look, we're still trying to sort out the new owner thing. You know, the new owner scenario we're being told will be next week. Now, there's actually a tweet that I was going to bring up quickly from Piers, who's basically just said that sources closest to rival bids say Todd Boehly is leading the race to buy Chelsea. Boehly is understood to be the individual with the most accessible available cash, which is strengthening his group's offer. And that makes a lot of sense, AJ, when you think about the short term, because Rudiger's gone, Christensen's gone, Jorginho and Kante on their last years of the contract, so they're going to stay, are they going to go? Lukaku may want to leave, like we're hearing already. Werner could go. Like, these new owners, they're going to really have to spend straight away, aren't they? As soon as the summer window opens.
First of all, if you guys get Boehly, I'll actually be concerned. Like, his track record with sports franchises is very, very good.
Yeah,
and the way that he sees Chelsea and the area that you guys are in. In terms of the actual geographical area, like the way he wants to do in that location, like it is very worrying, and I feel like you guys will be in good hands. Going into the summer, you've got some massive things to address. You need two new fullbacks to compete and cover for Chilwell and Reece James. You got your midfield situation that obviously is coming to an end. You've got your defensive situation that you've got a load of young players. You got the SARS, Chalobah, you got that Colwill. Out on loan, but they're untested and inconsistent. You know what I mean? So you've got that to worry about. And then the biggest glaring issue is the forward line. You've got a £100 million striker who doesn't want to be there already, and he's not getting played. You've got a £75 million false nine centre forward who can't find any consistency in front of goal, even though he's talented. And your wide players, besides Mason Mount, who's consistently performing. You've got wingers who are surplus, like Pulisic. I know he's a striker, but Werner, who plays out wide most of the time, he's surplus. And the biggest disappointment in Cho, like, we don't know what's happened with him. Is he injured? Is he just not good enough? Like, so you guys have got a lot of Man United. We both have big rebuilds in the summer that should happen, especially with new ownership and a new manager coming in respectively for both teams. So it'd be interesting to see what you guys do. I feel like you'll have a big summer though. You will have a big summer. You'll get Koundé. I believe Koundé will be yours.
Yeah.
You'll be in the race for Tchouaméni. I don't know how I don't know what the percentages is that you're getting because loads of clubs are in for him.
Dembele from Barcelona, a lot of talks around him as well.
Yeah, like if you guys get Dembele, that's a good signing because obviously he's worked with Tuchel before and he's got a good performance out of him. So like you guys can be excited. It's just a weird time right now because it's not confirmed. You're still angst about what's happening with the owners. But I think once you guys get Boehly in, I think you guys can start to get very excited because then the news of who you're looking at getting will start to come through.
Well, Thomas Tuchel in his press conference before the game against Man United said that there is a lot of talks sort of within the hierarchy, the man himself, with the Chelsea hierarchy. And I actually think that they're actually planning their attacks, like where they're going to go, who they're going to go for. And I would expect that to at least be done. And I think the fact that Tuchel came out and said that he's still pretty confident, but it's also going to be a very demanding summer, tells me that he's expecting whoever the new owners to come in to seriously back him and buy the players that are required. But you're right. You look at the Chelsea squad, you're losing two defenders. Ultimately, when you think about it, we didn't really want to have to concentrate on defence because we had issues with the wing backs. We had issues with the midfield. We had issues with the forward line. We had other issues that we needed to look onto. And the fact now that we've lost two defenders in Rudiger and Christensen, we're going to need at least two defenders. One of them being Jules Koundé. I think Jules Koundé, for me, would shock me if he didn't come. Like, I think it will be a certainty. It's just who does he bring in from that? There's talks about the Leipzig young boy. I can't remember his name, Joska, I think it is, that he's been watching as well, that he's interested in to cover him for Rudiger's position. You know, there's not been no talks about wing backs or what we're going to do with wing backs, but we've seen what's happened with Reece James. Obviously, we've seen what's happened with Ben Chilwell. We don't even know if Ben Chilwell's going to come back as the same player with that type of.
That's a big question about how he's going to come back.
You know,
well, so.
like there's so much not right about this club that where we thought we were so close at the beginning of the season, we're actually just so far.
Yeah, and then Pop extending as well is obviously a sign of what Liverpool are trying to do. They're trying to make sure that they are remaining at the top. Man City and Pep, they're moving for Haaland. I wouldn't be surprised if Pep signs a new contract in the summer if in response to Klopp staying at Liverpool. So yeah, like everyone else, the Man United, Chelsea's, the Arsenal, Spurs, everyone else has got like a load of work to do to catch up to these two teams, and hopefully my team at least can do that. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys are closer because you guys are better than us, but yeah, like if you guys get these new owners in and they bring in the right structure and they bring in the right kind of mentality of what they want to do, you guys will. I think you guys will be fine.
I wasn't sure if you guys had took the comedy statue or trophy of Arsenal. I thought like Arsenal are now moving up in the world.
This season, 100%, we have been the most comical team. You've had from everything that Maguire does to the fans infighting, just everything's just crazy, man. Like we are the banter club this year. That is for sure.
I should quickly answer this. How do I feel about that? I don't think it's cool. It makes sense because apparently 1 billion of this funds is going to charity. But going to the Ukraine, and apparently the extra 500 million that he's requesting is so that it can be added to that to be said. So I think it's a little bit of a test to see how much these guys want Chelsea. At the same time, it is already astronomically expensive when they're pushing 2.5 billion in bidding, is what we've been told at the moment. So, the actual figure, from what I've been told, is going to probably just be over 3 billion once it's actually confirmed and agreed. It's a massive ask, but at the same time, this is Roman's football club. He can kind of do what he wants, and I respect that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, and if he demands a bit more money from these owners for the reasons, or for the right reasons, should we say, then at the end of the day, they're going to have to agree to it. Apparently, they've already had that conversation with his associates and agreed to fund an extra 500 million, which, to be honest, is peanut money for a lot of these guys anyway, to be fair. But it's I just think for Chelsea, it's important that we get the new owners sorted sooner rather than later, knowing that when June the 10th comes around, when the transfer window opens, we can then go and approach the market and start targeting players, sorting out contracts of players that are still at our football club, and actually just getting rid of some of the deadwood as well, because we've got so much at the football club that needs to go. It's painful.
Yeah, both teams got to sort it out in the summer. But guys, thanks for having me. I've got to go back to what I was doing. But come back on the terrace, fam. We miss you out there, fam. Like, come back.
Yeah, I will. 100%. I'm going to be coming on. I'll be coming on a Sunday actually for the West Ham game. 100%. Just send me the link and be over there, guys. Make sure you check out the Football Terrace guys as well. Big up to KJ. See you later on.
Yeah, catch you later, guys.
See you later, bro. Take care. So we need to get into the player ratings, guys. Haven't done the player ratings, but make sure we're smashing the like button as always. We've got 54 likes. Come on, we can get these likes up, guys. We can get these likes up. Let's go back to the game because we have to do that player ratings, and then we're going to open up the lines and get you guys in on the show. And we'll start with Edouard Mendy. Well, you'd think it'd be something like that, Sosa, like around that sort of figure. That would make a lot of sense. Did he have much to do? No. Can we really rate him badly? No. Could he have saved Cristiano Ronaldo's shot? Maybe. Still think it was a great shot from Ronaldo, top corner. For me, it was a 6.5. There's not much else to say. 6 for Josh. 6 to 7. Had a few shaky moments with the ball at his feet. 1 or 2, I'd say, but not many. 6. Yeah, I'm going to go over 6.5. I'm going to go over 6.5 for Edouard Mendy. Let's move on to Antonio Rudiger. Now, I actually thought he had a bit of a up and down game. Tuchel was very unsure of what sort of performance he was going to get from Antonio Rudiger after the announcement of him going to Real Madrid. But to be honest, I thought it was a performance that was mixed. going forward and being aggressive, cool. Made some silly tackles within the game. Silly tackles. Got a yellow card as well. There was just a couple of moments where he just looked a little bit rash. I'd say a little bit too rash for me. I wouldn't say it was a vintage He's performance. Roman Empire, big up to you, 6, 7, 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5. Unnecessary fouls on court watching the ball. I agree. Could you argue that Cristiano Ronaldo's goal was because he ran off the back of Antonio Rudiger? Could that have been the case? I want to give him a 6. Yeah, I mean, his long balls were impressive, but he's good at that. I know he's good at that. It was just that it was the defensive part of it that just got me a little bit. But overall, he had a good game. Defense didn't have much to do. But it wasn't like a vintage, amazing Rudiger because they weren't asked to do much. I want to go over 6. I am going to go for a 6 for Rudiger. We're going to move on to Thiago Silva, El Monstro. Again, didn't have much to do, but dealt with Cristiano Ronaldo quite well. So comfortable in the ball, makes the game look so easy. His calmness is just something we're going to miss. We have to get defenders in and around him, learning from him as quickly as possible, man, because he is a dying breed of footballer for me. My player of the season, still my player of the season. Thiago Silva is easily a 7.5 for me. He's that good. 7 or a 7.5 all day. 7, 7.5, 7.5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think he was good. 7.5, 8 or an 8.5 for Dexter, 8 for Roman Empire as well. Good ratings. Andreas, no, he didn't play, did he? What am I talking about? Cesar Azpilicueta. Again, did have much to do most of the game, but that one moment, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing. The fact that he was looking across the line and you could see that Rudiger and Thiago Silva were ahead of him and in line, and he's looking across the line and he's in line with Ronaldo, who's offside, is ridiculous. The fact that he didn't shift his legs to get in line with Rudiger and Silva and just stood there is the reason why Ronaldo scores that goal. Because Matic plays that ball over the top and Aspi finds himself a yard forward, then he's off. So for me, it was a big mistake from Azpilicueta that led to that. For me, a 5.5. Because that ultimately led to us not winning the game, even though the forwards we were going to get to in a bit were shocking. We're going to talk about them in a minute. But ultimately, that lack of concentration led to them scoring the one real great chance they had in the game. 5.5 for me. 5.5. 5.5. Yeah, I agree. Marcus Alonso. Now, he's 7 because he scored, and no one else on the pitch could do that other than him. Was his game great? No. Did he have much to do in the game? No. Does he slow us down still? Yes. Did he do much the other end other than score? No. I mean, I'm giving him a 7 based upon scoring that goal. That is probably pretty much it. 7, 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7. Yeah, 7 for me. 8 for Alonso. Best volley takers. It was a good finish, to be fair. 7's probably fair enough. He wasn't bad either, to be fair. Yeah, it wasn't a bad game for Alonso. It wasn't like he was shocking. He just wasn't. He's never going to be outstanding. Like the Real Madrid game was over-exceeded. Like that was the best I've seen him play away. 7 for the top. Yeah, 7. I agree with 7s as well. Midfield. Let's start with the midfield, shall we? Jorginho. 7. Jorginho's a 7. Everything that I asked for him to have, the energy, be in the right position, move the ball quicker, was good yesterday. He did that. And he moved the ball quicker to Kante. Between him and Kante, they look more like themselves. Would probably be the right thing to say. Better overall performance. I actually thought the midfield done a good. I thought, as bad as the midfield has been over recent games, I thought our midfield had a good game. Both of them. So for me, Jorginho is a 7. 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7.5. It's 7.5 for both for Josh. Fair enough. He did. He didn't have a bad game. I'm not going to sit here and dig out Jorginho. He's definitely not the problem. For what we asked them to do, which is move the ball quickly to the forward line, they did that for the first time in fucking ages. It was just, what were they doing? What was the forward line now going to do? And this is why we're going to talk about the forward line in a bit. Oh, come on, that's a bit. I need to see the consistency, not back sideways. Yeah, no, I agree. But what we're doing, Oluwasi, is we're evaluating on what we see game per game basis. This is not about other games. 7 for me. Oh, Malang Sarr. I pick Malang Sarr. N'Golo Kante for me is another 7. And I think this is Kante's best game for a very long time. Like, I think energy wise, look more. He's positioning, winning the ball back, playing the ball quicker, winning tackles. Winning tackles on the counters. Keeping the ball moving, working hard with Jorginho to win the ball back quicker when we were out of possession. I think it was good. I don't blame him for the goal. The ball ricochets off his knees and then lands to Matic, and then he tries to try and recover from it. Like, you can't blame him for that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to blame N'Golo Kante for that. Azpilicueta, I could blame Azpilicueta a lot more than Kante, because blimey Azpilicueta was not even looking across the line. No, he didn't. Azpilicueta was in line with Ronaldo that gave the goal. You say he gave the goal, the ball ricocheted off his shin at pace. Like, come on, man. Stop this. 7. 7.5. 7. 7.5. Him and J5 were both 7 for me. They both had good games. They weren't the problem yesterday. They both done what I wanted them to do, which is be good, be aggressive, and win the ball quickly. The problem is coming. The problem is coming. Don't worry. Before we get to the problem, let's talk about the bright spark, because he was the bright spark. And why we cry for him to be playing in that position. For me, best right back in the league for what he does. I just think he is. On his day, he's that good. So well equipped. Not only going forward, but defensively strong, quick. Decision making's good. Crossing ability yesterday was class. Yeah, he could have scored with his weaker foot, which hit the post. But Reece James he didn't deserve to draw or lose that game. For me, he was pushing an 8.59. 8.59. Nah. Okay, no. Not having it, bruv. Not having it. Big up to Jones. James was at 8.5 or a 9, whatever you want to give it. 8.5, 9s. We've got 9s here, 9s, 7.5s, 8.5s, 9 man the match. Yeah. Josh, you couldn't agree any more with you, mate. Easily 9s. 8.5 or 9s, 7.5s, 9s. Yeah. Great performance from Reece James, man. There's not much more to say. 10 out of 10 is what Jones is saying as well. He was awesome. Now let's get into the nitty gritty before we open up the lines with a bang. Because I know when we open up the lines, it's gonna obviously trigger some people. But let's do it. Let's talk about all of them, because all of them played other than Hakim Ziyech, who doesn't seem to start games anymore. Just sell him if he's not going to play him. That's why I see it. Mason Mount. Was shocking in the first half for me. His decision-making was poor. His final first passing was poor. Ultimately, when Havertz and Werner did make runs in that first half, he was losing the ball. He was looking down at his feet too much. And ultimately, even though we were moving the ball so much quicker, he slowed it back down because he wasn't making the right decisions. Second half, he was better. And he moved the ball quicker. He moved the ball quicker and he didn't sit on it as much. I think his overall performance in the second half was massively better than his first. But his first was poor. His first was really, really, really poor. We've got a 7 for Mace, 4's 4, 6.5, 5.5, 4, 5. I just don't get why we overplay him. Why does he have to play a 90-minute every game? Like, take him off. 4, 6, 5, played 2 good balls that should be getting fixed. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well. I don't think it was... The first half was shocking. I'll stick to that. But the second half, he was so much better in his decision-making. It is the decision-making that ultimately costed us yesterday anyway. I'm going to give him a 5.5. I'm going to give him a 5.5. Mason Mount yesterday is a 5.5. Timo Werner. I find it hard to rate Timo Werner yesterday because every time he found himself in that good run, he never found the ball. And when he did get the ball, his shots were on target. All right, they saved by De Gea. But other than that, he was just a ghost. Like, he wasn't even involved. He was gone again. 5? I don't really know what to say for Werner because he didn't really do much. Didn't do much wrong, but he didn't do much right. If that makes sense. Like, it wasn't, I don't know. Timo Werner, headless chicken 2, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, Roadrunner. Yeah, he did, but at the same time, first half, he could have been played balls quicker. You know, his runs were perfect. He just never found it. You know, sometimes it just, and that was on Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, both of them. Because the amount of times he made runs and they just held the ball and then lost it. Look at Kai Havertz's decision-making in the second half when he played Kante instead of playing fucking Werner, who would have just played it on his stronger foot onto his right and he would have took a shot. Do you know what I mean? Like, decision-making was poor. For me, he didn't have much to do. So I want to say a 5. 5. Kai Havertz. I don't know what to really say about Kai Havertz because I love him. I think he was a great footballer, technically very gifted. But the inconsistency in front of goal is an issue, and he's a part of that. He had our best chances yesterday, and he flopped them. The header was easier than the one in front of goal. But we know how good he is in the air. Like, he headed it straight at De Gea. All you had to do is header it in one side of the goal, and it's a goal. And them differences is that you put Karim Benzema in them Kai Havertz moments, them 2 moments that Kai Havertz had, you put Benzema in there, they're goals. And that's ultimately the difference. That's the difference from us to the Liverpools, the Man Cities, the Real Madrids. We ultimately just, when we do dominate games and we are on top, we ultimately, when we're trying to rely on our forward line to take them chances, they flop. They tend to let us down. Yeah, I never thought his effort, but he just wasn't there yesterday. Even his passing was shocking. His decision making, holding of the ball, looking at his feet. Just I don't know. Sometimes he's just unbelievable. Sometimes he can just do that. He's just again a very inconsistent player at the moment. You know, I want to give him a 4.5. I just was not impressed with him one bit. You know, I know a lot of you guys saying 5s, 2s, 4s, 5 needs a rest. I agree. 5s, 4.5s, 5s, 3, 6s. Yeah, he just wasn't good. Now, I don't really want to have to rate these lot, but I'm going to do it really quickly. Romelu Lukaku, 4. 4.5. All right, well, whatever, 5. 4.5 or 5. I don't have much to say because he doesn't do anything. You know, he didn't do much. He didn't bring no impact. When I say the bench bring no impact, they bring no impact. There was nothing better than what we saw from Werner, Mount and Havertz. I didn't see a better improvement. It wasn't. It wasn't. 5, 4, 1, whatever you want to give him. I don't know. But I'm not going to sit on him too long. Christian Pulisic. Where is he? 5? 5.5 at a push. 5? Didn't do much again. Now, all right, he created that one little bit of great passing and movement, but we're doing that the old game. Like, got caught off the ball by someone. I can't remember. He lost the ball quite comfortably. Was it Rashford? It might have been. Someone just bullied him off the ball. You know, again, was he a big impact? No, not for me. 5.5, 5. Crapton America was Casper the Friendly Ghost. Did nothing, Matty's saying. Did nothing. 0, 2, 1. Guy, you guys hate Pulisic, didn't you? You guys hate Pulisic in the chat. No, he didn't. Where is this? Where was this? Oh, will be unavailable. Oh, I thought it was will be available. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We know that anyway. 4.55. Yeah, he was poor, man. He's so weak, my 8-year-old. Everyone just taking a piss out of Pulisic in the chat right now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 5. I'm not even going to rate Ruben because he wasn't even on that long. I know. Didn't do nothing. But anyway, links in the chat. Let's go. Let's hear your thoughts and opinions on this game. Let's get the panel in. Let's see what they've got to say. Smash the likes, though, guys. I've only got 61 likes. Blimmin' hell. 61 likes? Are you sure? 61 likes, guys. 61 likes. Let's get this up to 75 likes. Come on. Let's do that very quickly before we go to the panel. Come on. If no one's hit the likes, hit it now. Hit it now. I'm looking at it. I am staring at that thumb. Let's get this over 75 likes, guys. Come on. Let's get this over 75 likes, please. Let's go to Josh. Josh, what are you saying?
Same shit, different day.
That feels, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just been par for the course recently, man. It was hard to watch. It's like I don't know, man. I'm just at a loss, to be perfectly honest with you. There's a ton of great chances and nothing to show for it. It's really hard to try to figure it out. I'm sure Tuchel's driving himself crazy trying to figure out what to do. But I said before the game, I didn't think any of those three guys should have played this game. And now they're going to be forced to not play against Everton because none of them are starting on a 2-day turnaround. So I thought absolutely they should have been rested for this game, and then you can play them against Everton on Sunday. But it's just not good enough, Jim. I mean, Reece James, this guy all game just blasting beautiful balls into the box for 90 minutes, just squaring perfect balls into the box, and absolutely nothing to show for it. It's kind of disheartening at this point to try to describe what we're watching.
It's the same old story we said last year, just not consistent in front of goal, right? Havertz should have put 2 away.
Yeah. I mean, like, I honestly don't think Ronaldo would fit great in our team the way we play, because I don't think he moves enough. But in a game like yesterday, he probably has a hat trick.
Yeah, easily.
I don't think in general, like with the way we play, with the kind of movement we look for, I don't think he would fit that well. But in a game like yesterday, where it's just nothing but spam crosses and tons of opportunities, he definitely scores 2 at least.
What is the issue with the attack? And I'm not just talking about Mount, Havertz, and Werner. I'm just talking about all of them. What is the issue? Like, why do they struggle with form? Like, is it system? What is it? I don't get it.
I mean, like with the 3 yesterday, I'm gonna chalk it up to tiredness. But I think as a unit, all of them together, I mean, we've just seen it. It's just not been good. Tuchel's tried different combinations. He's tried runs of games. He's tried, giving guys rest, then putting them back in, and just nothing seems to work. We'll have stretches of guys play 2 or 3 really good games in a row, and then they just fall off a cliff. We've had combinations that seem to work well, but then they start to do nothing, and then he switches it up. I honestly don't know. I really don't. I'm not even sure Tuchel knows at this point. I just think he's throwing shit at a wall, trying to figure out what works, and unfortunately, it seems to be none of them at this point. I don't know, man. It really doesn't seem to be a creation issue. Obviously, it's just literally putting a ball in the back of the net issue, and I don't know if it's confidence or what, but it's just not working. It's been super poor all year with any combination you pick at. I don't care if you've had 2 or 3 games in a row where you played well. It's just that not been good for many of them.
Yeah, and this is why Thomas Tuchel, and I keep saying it, needs to be backed in the summer. I'm telling you, we need to see players coming in, and we actually need to see players to go out, and we actually have to improve on that forward line, because after the 2 years of what we've seen, it's just come to the conclusion that they're just not good enough, man. They're not. Like,
I mean, the crazy thing is, like, you go get a guy like Dembele, who I want. His best thing that he does is create. So it's like, okay, well, we don't really have a creation problem per se. I need somebody who's going to fucking bury that thing in the back of the net, man. And I we all obviously all was hoping that was going to be Lukaku, but we just haven't seen it. And, I don't know if Dembele, hopefully he fixes some problems. Maybe he brings some confidence, some extra bit of sauce, but, he's a great creator. Hopefully we'll find someone to work well with him. So I really don't know.
Yeah, it was frustration is the word I would like to use on that game yesterday. It was annoying. We'll go to Nick next. Nick, what you saying?
Yeah, hi chaps. Yeah, what a frustrating game. God, any team in the league would have slaughtered United last night. Apart from us, we can't finish. I can't blame them too much because I felt up blaming them. Mount should have scored. Havertz should have had a hat trick. The first half should have been 3 or 4-0. Game done, and then you can rest the players and get them ready for Everton. No, they didn't show up, man. Mount, all right, he runs a lot. He runs everywhere, up and down, but his head is not up. He's looking downwards. When I see him play, his head is on the ground. Look up and see what's going on. Havertz, I knew I wouldn't have started him because he's overplayed. And if anything, what I would do if I was Tuchel, I'd bring 2 attackers to play with Havertz, 2 new attackers, because this lot are not doing it. They're not doing it. And the same with Lampard. We have the Lampard story now. We can't score. Lukaku didn't work out. We know that. We can't. All right, he only had 20 minutes to prove himself, but still, no one's showing they can score. That's really bad. That is. We got a final coming up. We got 3 more league games before the final. To get these players scoring, they should just practice putting the ball in the net every minute. You can see Tuchel how frustrated he was on the touchline, going mad, up and down. Because we can't get through it. I hope they back him, and he has to, get who he wants. These players are not going to do it. Even Pulisic, I like Pulisic, but he's not doing it. No one is. Ziyech, the same. He hasn't played, but keep them. But you still need 2 new attackers who can score. Just get me anyone who can score, and I'll be happy. Because we play beautiful football. We played. We had the ball all the time, and we give that one chance for Ronaldo, and he scores. That's what he does. I knew that was coming. I thought, right, here we go again. It's disgusting, man. It was so disgusting to watch, not to thrash this team. And United will never be as bad as this. Next year, it's going to be different. We had a chance to really put them in the bin, and we bottled it. God, I really upset. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you, mate. I hear you. It was a definite bottle job of a game yesterday, 100%. It was never... You can't have 21 shots and only 6 on target and not win that game and play the way that we did. That's why I say it's an issue that you go to the Old Trafford, you dominate like you do. Yeah, you have that many shots, but you walk out of the draw. That in itself, when you look at it, is a problem for me. Like that's not normal. I know in football you have them games, but we have them games all the fucking time. Like we do. Every time we dominate games, we always have this problem.
Yeah, Jim, what happened to the Chelsea before 2013 when we used to go to Old Trafford and win every, in the 70s, 80s, 90s. We always showed up there and we scored goals. We had players who could score. Now we don't have any scorers. That's really bad. I hope Tuchel gets a couple new attackers as well. We're gonna need some revamping in this team. You know, because otherwise we won't challenge City or Liverpool. Let alone with the FA Cup. Let's see what happens there. Good.
I just wish we could just fast forward the Premier League and just get to the final and get the new owner, and just start fucking clicking to next season. Right. That's how I feel right now. Like we need to just revamp completely.
I've had enough with these players, giving them chances after they don't do it, man. They don't. Yeah,
I hear you. Hassan, what are you saying?
Why am I not surprised, Jim? After yesterday's result, man, I've been saying it's either going to be a Chelsea win or it's going to be a draw. And what you said was absolutely true. We've been failing to convert our chances these last couple of games. Even when we were on when we lost, what was it, one game out of the 12, which was the Liverpool. If you actually remember it, most of them games were 1-0s. Havertz had to bug in the last minute against Newcastle, was it? And a few others, we've been failing to convert our chances. It's been happening for the last 4 to 5 years. And the answer to that very thing is because we don't have a consistent goal scorer up front. Ever since Costa left, I think we have not got a recognised striker or a recognised forward. We used to either put Hazard up front or Costa.
Bring him back. Go on, mate.
Yeah. So what I was saying then is it's the same crap every year with United, man. It's just frustrating. We should have buried them. We should have slapped them 3-4-0. I'm not even joking. It's just Ronaldo's clever movement that pulled off the game. And I genuinely see a mid-table without Ronaldo. I'm being dead serious. The goals, even though he doesn't score every game, but the goals he scores are clutch. They're point-saving goals. And I just don't know what to say, really. It's just we should bury the chances. And we had them on the neck. Literally, the crowd was dead silent, empty seats. We should just bury them. It should have been a good night. But I'm just frustrated, man, because it was literally our game in hand. We could have comfortably sat at third. And now to be fair, though, we should be winning the next 6-7 games. But with our goal scoring chances and our goal conversion right now, I'm a bit worried.
Chelsea, how serious do you find this final against Liverpool? Do you think it's something that we have to win now for us to have a good season? To have a good season, finish third in the FA Cup? Or...
I just don't want Liverpool lifting the quadruple.
That's true.
We have to stop them, man. We have to stop them.
Yeah, I hear you. Matt, what are you saying, my man?
Yeah, everyone's kind of just said. I'm not going to even repeat what everyone said. But again, horrible. I haven't really been, in the Chelsea community, really doing anything much because I'm just not confident in them anymore. I don't have the motivation. I woke up today 5 a.m. I was watching it, and then I just fell asleep afterwards. I was there's no point watching this game. It was shocking. I'm glad I didn't watch the full game, but even I don't see anyone coming in immediately and fixing our forward line. We've got someone on the likes of Dembele who I want as well. I think Dembele is a fantastic option. We try to say Hazard. Realistically, Hazard's never going to come back to Chelsea, and if he ever does, he's going to cause more problems than solve it. So I don't think there's anyone who can come in right now and fix our club. The only thing we got to do now is just back to Tuchel. If he wants this random kid from Brazil who's 17 years old, bring him in. I don't give a shit because, again, the only one who wants to win these games is Tuchel. We see him on the bench screaming and shouting. I don't see one person on that pitch showing the same intensity that Tuchel is, and that's something that Rudiger normally does. Obviously, the disappointment he's brought to us. Reece James, I feel like Reece James isn't really much of a leader. I think he focuses on himself, which is fantastic for him. Someone like Rudiger who was had that intensity, has that energy in him, and he brings that to the team. Reece James just a fan leader. No, I'm not yet because I think he's more focused on himself, which it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to say he's not a leader, but he's focused more on his own game. He's developing his own game before he focuses on others. So I think in the future, I said this a couple weeks ago. I said in the future, 100% he'll be a captain possibly at our club before Mount will. Mount's nowhere near it, but Reece James was again. He's the only one in this team who's been consistent. He's had 6-7 injuries and he's come back and he's playing like this. And this is a man that is absolutely class, best common player, and it's fantastic to see him in form.
Do you blame Mendy for that goal?
I prefer not to speak.
I want to know. I really want to know if you actually.
I think Kante.
I don't blame Mendy, but I'm not expecting Mendy to come out and get those saves, you know. And talking about the kick, we know he's shit kicking. When he's coming out for those saves, I don't expect him to do that. I'm not blaming him because I know he can't do that. He's not good enough to do that. He's
I
not
was
a
gonna
world-class
say-
keeper. Come out of the box and get that.
Wait, it's not good enough to do that. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's not good enough to come out and come out of the box. So we're saying like to come out and Jesus Christ. Which point are you saying? The save you should have saved 100%, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about does he come out of the box off his line because he always stands on his line, and I don't like that keeper. Like sometimes when they take the risk, they come out, and he doesn't do that. He never does that. He never takes that risk, and we've seen it so many times. He doesn't take the risk, and then he gets scored. But I'm not going to blame him for that miss because, as I said, I don't expect him to save them nowadays. He's out of form. I don't expect it.
No, is Kepa saving that?
No,
I never said Kepa's going to say that. I just said Mendy's out of form. People have to
chance.
accept the fact.
It's a fantastic finish, man.
That goal was literally because one of our defenders played him on side. I forgot who it was.
Aspie.
All I'm saying is Mendy last year would have said that, but now he's out of form, and people aren't accepting that he's not playing well. He's just not playing well.
I agree. He's having moments, you know, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like a clean sheet against West Ham was, man, a real struggle.
Yeah.
He's really.
Plus,
It was when they had 3 shots on us. Not even.
and last night he made a bad pass again. He gave it to the United player.
Yeah.
You know,
What was it, 42nd minute, I think?
he's doing it regular. Like Matt, I want you to see Kepa against West Ham, just to give Mendy a rest and put him on the bench for his own sake. Maybe he's going to wake up because he thinks no one can replace him. That's he's no good.
Yeah, but when you look at the bench and your replacement's Kepa, I don't blame him. Do you know what I mean? It's not like we've got.
What's Kepa done wrong? Like on the 2 shots, I don't get it.
It's like a half decent goalkeeper on the bench that can cause him.
I would see another keeper coming out and pressuring Ronaldo in that sense because Ronaldo's he's not focused. He's not on the ball.
Burying that.
Look,
If Kepa would have tried to come out on that, Ronaldo would have kicked it through his head.
Wouldn't you take the risk and kind of jump at him? Like I would expect that from someone like a world class keeper, like Edison would have done that. If we're comparing a world class keeper, I would see Edison coming out of that box.
Edison just had 3 goals put by him.
I just think
no, I'm saying he's a world class super keeper, but
I just think that Ronaldo's movement caught everyone off guard. I think it was just clever movement that caught everyone off guard.
It was shocking from our defense. I blame the defense on that. Our line was shocking.
It
Can't say a mistake.
And
I don't know.
Although he's world class, don't forget.
It's not Mendy's fault.
That goal, no one's saving that goal. Be honest now. No one's going to save it.
No, 100%. I never said. I said there's a high chance that maybe if he came out of his box, maybe did a bit more, could have got it. But if you're going to call him a world class keeper, he should be taking those risks.
Yeah, personally, would have saved
Never said Kepa was going to say that. Never said Kepa was going to say that.
Goals with the chances we make. It'd be 50 goals at least.
Kepa would have given a penalty away. He would have just sat on him or something.
But wouldn't you rather, if Ronaldo in that position, to just go and take him out rather than just?
There's no chance.
I wouldn't.
And then we could lose the game.
Just go ahead and give up a penalty. Go ahead and give up a penalty and
under red card.
If you guys are saying Ronaldo was going to score that, wouldn't you take the risk? Jump out of Ronaldo, possibly. Okay, maybe there's a penalty, and take a 50-50 chance.
Well, get a red card.
It's not a 50-50 chance on a penalty, Matt.
Yes, it is. It's a 50-50 chance. What do you mean? You're either scoring.
No, it's not.
Why are we even talking about Mendy? This goalies.
Jim, you brought it up. You brought it up. I don't want to speak about it.
Goalies. Stay away from the goalies.
Matt, last time Kepa was in a penalty shootout, he gave up 11 penalties. It's not a 50-50 chance, man.
Kick Josh out.
Rodrigo Rogers, what are you saying, my man?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, he saw this team. Oh my god, I can't deal with this team. Sometimes, what is this with United? We literally lost how many points? We got 2-2. We lost 4 points to United. We gave them 4. We literally dropped 4 points to them. The first game we played them at home, we completely, utterly dominated them. Should have won that. This game again, completely dominated. Had chances after chances. We just can't beat this lot. What is this with United? I think our players, it feels like, when we play Tottenham, we know we're gonna beat them, or we know that we're not gonna lose to them. It feels like that's how we are with United. Our players just, I don't know, they just can't beat this lot. We should have won this game by at least 4-0.
Right.
Easy.
United is we can't score. That's a problem.
Nah, but
We-
what is this with this United in particular? It's not just this season. It's always, we always play them. I'll play them, but just can't beat them. Even when we lost 4-0 to them, we'll probably.
It's because we have the same players year in, year out since 2017 that pass sideways.
Yeah.
Sideways, backwards football.
No way
Yes,
I'm hearing Jorginho slander. No way there's Jorginho slander here.
I don't
No,
think.
no,
I don't
no,
think-
no. I
think
said,
Jorginho
I
played well.
said same group of players, not individual.
I
I know.
know.
Yesterday, the midfield. There's no way in hell we can fault the midfield yesterday. They actually.
No. I think Havertz. I blame Havertz yesterday. I think he was off. I don't know. Maybe. I don't want to say the L word. Maybe the L word should have started. No.
Did you see it when you come on the pitch? He was
I
right.
take that back.
Who was
All
it?
I was gonna say is
What did Captain America do when he come on?
Oh, enough one.
Had more dribbles than the three forwards combined in 19 minutes, and created a big chance across the 6-yard
But they
box that
score.
nobody got on.
We need another
Chicken pet the rubbish.
We need another Rhys James. This guy is unbelievable. I think he's by far our best player. He's unreal. He's too good.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean Rhys James it was our best player yesterday by far. Like he was
By
9
far.
out of 10 by far. He didn't deserve to draw or even blimmin' lose to that game. To be fair, he should have just won that game for him. Like he was that good. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What you saying,
if
mate?
only.
So, do you know what? I said it was going to be a draw, and I should have put money down on it, to be honest. Our attackers are woeful. The defence, it's exhausting each and every time watching our team play half the time. It's exhausting. To be honest with you, the fact that we're getting banter from Arsenal fans because we couldn't beat bloody Man United, it's just, it's obscene. And yet they're trying to get into the top 4. Learn your stats.
But they ain't got no
but
anyway. Don't worry about them. But yeah,
when they actually reach a final this season, come speak to us.
They're irrelevant. They're so irrelevant. I don't care. Arsenal fans. Go on.
The worst I've had is Spurs fans recently, and I've just been like, "You're more irrelevant than Arsenal, so shut up." But we move. But honestly, it made me laugh when you're hearing Man United fans boo Lukaku. I was actually trying to work out whether it was our fans or theirs. So it was like, it was. I was just kind of working out who is it, who's roasting who. But honestly, it's a joke, absolute joke.
Concentrate on the forwards, because yesterday ultimately we lost this game because our forwards didn't take their chances. Now Tuchel he started with Werner, Mount, and Havertz. We know Havertz missed chances, but then he made the decision to bring on Pulisic and Lukaku, who for me I felt didn't make any diddly squat difference.
Should have kept Werner on.
Yeah. But what was your what was your thoughts on the forward line, man?
I think they've just never been on form. I think any of them just weren't good enough. We had Reece James and Marcus Alonso that were trying to get at least assists in, and we just need that killer instinct, which is what we bought Lukaku in for. There's an old saying: pigeons go for statues, and all he was just a statue. He did nothing whatsoever. Honestly, it's absolutely redonkulous why we're even. I was listening to a space yesterday about how we should keep Lukaku. What has he done? It's like Pulisic. What's he done? He went to sleep. Captain America became, he was Casper the Friendly Ghost. What did he do?
Literally just scored a game winner 5 days ago.
Once. Wow.
Once has he? Okay.
Once.
Okay.
Oh, I'll go to town on that, shall I? Flaming hell,
Yeah, he's only
Honest-
scored one big goal for the club. That's
Hey,
it.
What? One goal
Josh.
from an assist, Josh. Josh. There's an old saying: "One swallow does not summer make." So what has he done? That was all
Hey,
he
Josh,
did. He spent
what
most of
3
his time
points
for
at Old
America.
Trafford?
Yeah, he was an invisible man. Lukaku was the same. I'm sharing the same criticism for Pulisic as I do for Lukaku. What did they do? Nothing. They were both as equally as crap.
You put
You
Lukaku.
guys are some shameless pricks, man.
Matt, let me ask you, Matt, something. Yeah, look. Yeah, but in the first half, we should have won that game by half time. If they, if they put the ball in the net, Havertz a few times, and Mount had a easy chance, and he hit it at De Gea. That's what cost me. So it's no reason to blame Lukaku or any other sub. They came on in the second half, 50 minutes to go. They could have changed it, but they didn't. But the blame goes in the first half on them.
It's everyone. It's everyone. We shouldn't be picking and choosing. It's everyone. Keep it consistent.
And Alonso were unbelievable. Cross after cross. They made so many chances for them, and they couldn't bloody put one in the net.
We have no impact from the bench whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no impact, but you can't blame the bench. That's what I'm saying.
We don't. It doesn't matter if Pulisic, Lukaku, and Ziyech would have started, and let's just say they had the same 60 minutes. What I'm saying is, if they would have started at 60 minutes, right, and we had the same issue in front of goal, and then say Havertz comes on with fucking Werner, we would have had the same shit.
Yeah,
like
you don't know. Don't know that for sure.
From what I've seen enough of these attackers. I'm telling you, I don't know why we keep defending them. Like it's
I'm not defending no one. I'm saying we need 2 new attackers and keep Havertz the only one. Bring 2 new guys who can score.
Yeah, you got to keep Mount as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Mount.
Yeah, I'm not saying Mount's more midfield. I'm not saying get rid of Mount. He can be, I'm not saying Mount. I'm saying
let's be serious. Christian Pulisic anyway.
I think we give them enough time, and they're not doing it. So
look, the ones that may go are Werner and Lukaku, and maybe Ziyech because he's not played in 8+ games. He doesn't start games anymore. All right. Other than that, you've got Christian Pulisic, who is not going to be going anywhere because Todd.
I don't really want next year. We keep
they're going to capitalize on the Americanism, aren't they? He's American, so it brings out more of the American buyout. That was and I always said that Bruce Buck was behind that deal anyway. So it was going to happen sooner rather than later.
I think you're giving Bruce Buck too much.
Yeah, let's just avoid the largest market in the world altogether. That's a good idea.
Matty, I think you're giving Bruce Buck too much credit. I don't think he even knows.
And Matty, I think we can get like 11 English guys to play for Chelsea. That'd be awesome, right? We'd have a great team then. Let's get some good old wholesome English boys in there.
I love it's an American agenda, and I'm wearing American's flipping flag. Come on, man.
Let's get a nice. Maybe Ross Barkley will have a remontada next year.
Look! Don't get me started on Ross Barkley. I said Ross Barkley to go out nearly 2 years ago, and I'm still on that agenda. I actually said, if you actually look back on the terrace the other day, I said that Drinkwater, Barkley, and a few others, most of them were English. So it's not all about one individual that I want out. It's a bunch of people. I've not changed my stance since.
Matt, let me ask you this: who would you rather keep, Pulisic or Cho?
I actually don't know because I think they're both. I think to be fair, like Cho, at one point Cho was played well, right? Yeah. At one stage, because Cho was being kept out because Pulisic was getting taken out the side by Lampard, right? Because he favoured him more, and we can see that there's some genuine quality there. Pulisic has spent most of his time injured, and we could say that the same about Cho. If I could be honest with you, I'd get rid of them both for the sake of their career. Cho needs some starts. And he ain't going to get it sitting on the bench at Stamford Bridge. So my suggestion would be is to either sell them both. But if I had to get rid of both, it would be Pulisic for me.
Whether you like it or not, Matty, Pulisic is going to be the American poster boy.
Well, I already said that. I've already admitted to that. I've already said that I don't see him going. But at the same time,
so
I could
4 goals in 4 years, Cho. You keep the guy who scored 4 goals in 4 years, Cho.
Because I can see some genuine quality there.
1 second. We've got some breaking news here as well that I want to share with you guys. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has made a late sensational bid of more than £4 billion to buy Chelsea. The British billionaire sent the bid to the merchant bank, which is conducting the process this morning. Sir Jim Ratcliffe with a £4 billion bid to buy Chelsea. $4 billion.
No, I just don't trust him, man.
Oh, we're fucked.
From around the corner, man.
Whoa! What does that mean? Does that mean Todd Bowley in the mud?
Just thought I'd let you know, right? If we get Jim Radcliffe, we are going to be Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, basically.
That's all I'm going to say. If you don't believe me, look at the teams he manages. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. That money is the only money he's going to spend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that just him on his own? Or has he got his own consortium?
Probably. It will probably be him on his own.
16
no,
billion.
He's richer than Roman. He's richer than Roman.
Yeah, but
he's not going to spend. He's not going to spend
$1 billion in net worth. He is.
He's 20 billion.
Yeah, Bowley's still going to win this. Forget that.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed anything.
Well, this is no, but money talks, guys. $4 billion.
Yeah, but didn't the South Koreans bid like 8 billion or 7 billion? Didn't they bid more?
No,
didn't the Saudis
Saudis
bid more? I don't know.
It was the same as the other ones. It was like 3.8 billion.
Oh my God, Jim Ratcliffe! I thought you were staying away from this club, man, and now all of a sudden he's.
Oh please! I don't want this guy.
Why would I want a Man United fan? Mind you,
where's the source coming from?
So that's from the Times. Times. It's from the Times Sport.
Times.
Yeah, it's like a legit source.
Yeah, that's legit.
That is exactly.
Do you guys hear about the thing? The UK culture secretary saying we literally got like 2 weeks.
So there's more breaking news on this because coming out. It's coming back to back as well. So there's a comment here that basically says that. So Jim Ratcliffe says Ineos is in a position to send money and close a deal for Chelsea this weekend if required. He's also been in discussions with the government. Oh my God, this is serious now, man. This is serious.
Oh, basically, he's a Tory.
He's a donor. He's a Tory donor.
We're in trouble here.
He
is.
If he gets us, mate, we're buggered. That's all I'm going to say. We are buggered. So that's why I say to everybody, put hashtag Bowley in.
My only hope
we're going to be fighting for UEFA places.
It's going to be a major rebuild. So he's going to spend at least some money this window. At least for the next 5 years, Tuchel can build a solid team now. So even if he doesn't spend money in the next 2 transfer windows, at least Tuchel will build something stronger now. So maybe for 5 years we'll be stronger. But
I thought the deadline passed for bids as well. Like, it's the other thing. What is this about? How can you bid after the deadline of a bid's gone? How do you do that one?
That's my question, because we were supposed to only have 3 shortlisted bids now. In fact, it was 4 if you count the Ricketts. Well, the Ricketts have gone. So that makes it 3. So why are we allowing another potential bid? We might as well let the Saudis back in then. If that's the case, we might as well let the Saudis come back in. You know why is this getting any more of being allowed to bid when everybody else is? It's ridiculous. I mean,
if you're one of the 3 bidders, how would you feel? You feel like, well, am I not good enough, or all the things I've prepared, I've submitted is not good enough? It's not really a good look, is it?
It's not really. But what can you do? What can you do?
Not much.
I'm trying to work out. I think it's Lille he manages, or Nice or something. Yeah, Nice. Well, what Nice? What have Nice done?
Can you find out the transfer spending under his ownership?
I don't care. You ain't going to learn that from that from like this. It's not even worth looking at. But in terms of Jim Ratcliffe, the article says, so Jim Ratcliffe has made a sensational bid for more than $4 billion to buy Chelsea. The British billionaire sent the bid to the merchant bank, which is conducting the process this morning. The owner of Ineos, the petrochemicals giant, held discussions with Bruce Buck, the Chelsea chairman. Oh, it had to be Bruce Buck, didn't it? Only yesterday.
It had to be Bruce Buck.
And has launched a late attempt to beat off 3 American consortiums we put an offer in this morning. Ratcliffe said we are the only British bid. Our motives are simply to try and create a very fine club in London. We have no profit motive because we make our money in other ways. That's what he's saying.
Oh,
Yeah, and he'll make it off the club. He'll make it off the club as
Get us
well.
in your owners. I don't care.
One second. Ratcliffe said that the offer would include a pledge of investing 1.75 billion over 10 years in the club in terms of developing the stadium, team, and infrastructure.
That's not a lot. That's shit.
On top of meeting the valuation of around 2.5 billion for the purchase. Given the size of Ineos and the resources of a vast private-owned company, Ratcliffe said that Ineos was in a position to send the money and close a deal this weekend if required. He said that he has also discussed this with the government. There you go.
1.75 billion over 10 years.
Yeah, it's 175.
Roman won't go for that. Roman will not go for that. So we're fine, boys.
He needs at least two. He needs at least two.
Need at least two, at least four. If you consider how much we're looking to try and rebuild our squad for, and everywhere else, we need at least four, not 1.75. We'll be fine, boys.
Out of that 1.75, out of that 1.75, the billions going to the stadium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've only got like 750. So that's like 75. That's 75 million a year.
Yeah.
Well, we can get one or two players.
At least 700,000. Gary Milburn. yeah. Good maths. That leaves 700,000 over 10 years on transfers. That's how much it would be.
Just remember that the ports that Orbis had to put in definitive. Oh yeah, that's true. What Winter Service said is just remember the ports that all bids had to put in a definite of 1 billion to protect the club. Do you remember? They said
yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
You won't. You'll be fine. Roman wants this club challenging on a regular basis. That's why he won't sell to somebody like Jim Radcliffe. Man, if you look at how he's dealing with Nice. He's not in the conversation.
It's got to be Todd Bowley, isn't it? I mean, it's not just that. It's understanding the structure. It's understanding what Ratcliffe's going to do that's better. That can be bettered than what Todd Bowley's put forward, who's apparently at the moment the favourite at this point. And there's a lot to it. I don't think it's just easy as, I'll give you this money over the weekend and let me just have it. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like he's saying.
When you consider that also that it's the most lucrative bid on the table, and he's more likely to actually invest it more into the club, there's a huge amount favouring Todd Bowley at this point. When you're getting also rival bids saying that Todd Bowley's the leading bid, for me it just sounds like it's already done and dusted, and the fans want it as well. So. What does
this label do at this point? This is the question mark. Does it now
PR?
Yeah, but the fact that
I agree with Matt. I think it's Bowley all the way.
Yeah, maybe. But what I'm saying is, from a Chelsea hierarchy, I'm trying to take it away from the Chelsea hierarchy situation. Like, does it look better to have a British bidder owning the football club right now? Is that going to help?
I don't care.
I think they'll get a bonus. That's what they're thinking about. Who's going to pay them?
Jem, he could be from another galaxy, as far as I'm concerned. As long as he wants to win and he wants to put into the football club, I don't give a toss if he's British, American, whatever.
Yeah, I just want to say, Joe, what you're saying there is we broke it down. It wasn't that he was offering 4 billion in total. It was that he was offering. It was that he was offering 4 billion in total, but also including the development of the stadium and investment to the player. So it will still be a bid of 2.5 billion, which will be put forward as what all the other owners have done. It's just that he's looking to invest around X amount as a total.
That 4 billion's like a massive, like you would say, a deceive. It's a massive deception. Because essentially, if you break down that 1.75 billion, 1 to 1.5 billion is going to go into a stadium. We don't know the exact figure. So,
another angle to look at this is the board. They're also looking out for themselves, right? So if one of the bidders say, right, to Bruce Buck, right, when we buy the club, you're gonna pocket at least say 10 million of it. So maybe that's enough incentive that. But obviously, we're thinking of more on a football basis. But these people on the board, they might thinking on their own financial gains. So Marina, Bruce Buck, and these other people that we don't know in the board, they might be like, all right, we go for this guy because we're gonna get more.
I don't get why so many Chelsea fans are getting excited on Twitter about him, saying announce
It's
him.
because they're looking at his net worth. They're not looking at his
Yeah,
context.
That's all they're doing. This is what I said this is what I said about the Ricketts the last time. It's all well and good having 30, 40, 50, 120 billion, but it's all depending on whether or not you're willing to invest it in the football club. And if you ain't, you've just got a very posh guy running your club that does bugger all. Look at the Glazers. Look how much the Glazers are. Look how much the Glazers are worth. They're not putting anything into Man United. The Cronkies aren't really putting anything really into Arsenal.
And another thing,
So
let me add this, Matt. Another thing is, Roman's going to be looking at everything. It's not just the money.
of course he is.
Roman wants someone to take over who's going to do what he actually wants. Don't forget he's a fan, and we keep saying it. He loves Chelsea, so I can't see Roman choosing this Ratcliffe. I don't think it will happen, and I think it will be Todd Bowley in the end. It sounds the best for me, from the rest. For me, anyway, but that's what I think.
Seppers, right? Hopefully I've said your name right. I swear he's built a decent team at Nice now. What has Nice won? What has Nice won? If you can, if instead of saying to me, do more research, find out what Nice have actually done.
And
Nice have done nothing.
Wasn't Patrick Vieira a manager at Nice?
Exactly. And don't forget this guy's richer than Roman. Put that into context, like he should be competing for that league on title. He's richer than Roman, like he should be at least getting a couple of trophies. I know PSG are good, but they should be competing with PSG.
Is he richer than Monaco or the Marseille owner? Because at least they compete. At least they try to.
I mean, he's richer than Roman, and Roman's competing in Europe, so.
Yeah,
right.
it's just
we got Winter Surfer here as well. Let's quickly go to him because I'm going to finish off soon as well. Winter Surfer, about all the news and the game yesterday as well. What are you at?
Shit. That game was rubbish yesterday. I said 1-1, but it was very poor. I don't think anyone should be hyped up about the performance yesterday. Jorginho and Kante been asked for the past 6 weeks, and they had the run of midfield. Just shows how bad United were. But same old problems. 5 years down the line, can't finish. Same old issues. And Kai Havertz should at least scored one of those chances.
Yeah.
So, but this bid, as I messaged you, Jem, we did see reports of the other bids needed to guarantee at least 1 billion to protect Chelsea. So if anything happens again, they have that to fall back on. Now we're hearing reports of an extra 500 million that he wants. Also, the thing over 10 years, there was a report this week that one of the conditions was that they can't sell the club for 10 years.
Yeah.
So I think I think what that information just stretched out makes it look different. I think the 1.75 billion is probably what is going to be put in to protect the club, as well as other things. So listen, I'm bored now. I just want it to be sold. I don't care who it's sold to now. I really don't. I just want it done. I'm at that point now where if this bid's accepted, it's accepted. It's funny though, because I thought there was a deadline for bids.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
This
whole thing handled by Rain is one of the worst things that's ever been handled. How they have done this is a disgrace.
How can you have rules that are then broken? It's so easy. It's weird.
Only Rain Group, right?
Can't now that New York Jets owner come in with a bigger bid now? You just
Well, everyone's if this guy Sergio Ratcliffe's allowed to put in a bid this late, what about all the other bidders? They're going to be like,
Muslim Bayrak's going to have a massive fit now.
The Turkish guy might actually send it to the correct email now.
Yeah, it's just so long.
There's a lot of Chelsea fans on social that are actually excited for this. They're like saying,
I think they just want it. I think they're covering. I just think they want it to end.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
think everyone wants it to end.
It's just ending with what you're hoping is the right person. That's the thing, because It's like
I'm waiting for the Ricketts to come back. Actually, that's what I'm
He
waiting
can
for.
come
I'm
back,
waiting
yeah.
for the Ricketts. I
Come
I
back,
can
yeah.
see it happening. Or who's the other guy that was with him? Who was the other guy who was with the Ricketts? I've forgotten
Johnson
his name
something.
now.
Johnson.
No, it wasn't
No.
Woody Johnson. It was the other
Oh,
one that was the one that was with the Ricketts, and he was the one who was supposed to be putting all money in. He was a football fan.
Griffin.
That was it. I'm waiting for Griffin to come back in. You watch. He'll put in a bid at the last minute. He'll put it on Saturday. You watch. It will be absolute. The Rain Group have managed this so badly. In fact, they shouldn't. After this, right? I implore any football team not to go with Ren, because that is disgusting. It's it's like you say, Winter Surfer in your thing there, same old shit, and it is same old shit. We're no clearer than what we were at the start of March when I was on the football terrace saying we will all be finished now. We're at the end of April.
It's always
I've
next week.
aged a year just
always-
waiting for this.
This bid is always next week, or it's always
Yeah.
the start of next week. And then we
You
get
know
to the
what
start,
it
we
is?
get Monday, Tuesday.
It's the
Oh,
X factor.
It's the end of the week, we'll hear something. For Christ's sake.
It feels like the X Factor, doesn't it? It definitely
Yeah, I mean,
feels.
Rain are going to get paid out anyway. Just get it done. It smells to me that Rain want to get as bigger, like whatever their thing is, as
Oh, yeah.
possible. You know what I mean? That's
They
what it
want more
smells
commission.
like now.
Oh,
just
I'm not even
all big and
surprised if
dorky.
they're whispering to the other bidders saying you could slip in a little bit more.
Yes,
We'll let you in.
it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That comment right there.
Just when Kelly comes in as well. Everyone's just coming in late now.
That's what it is.
Kelly.
That comment right there before. That comment right there. It will take longer, Jem. You watch.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I can see that happening. I can absolutely 100%
This is
see it
going
happening
to
because they'll want the
after end of
commission.
season.
We've got a special license to the 31st of May. They still need to sign it off. They're going to have to get it announced and agreed before that. Thomas Tuchel needs to then be able to start signing players from June the 10th.
On the gem, they need to pass a billionaire's fitness test.
Exactly. We need to sort out contracts as well. We need to sort out contracts of certain personnel. Like,
And
so much.
don't forget, Jem, don't
Basically-
forget there's nation leagues as well in the summer. So if any negotiation with players might be difficult, that away with nation leagues.
The billionaires test won't matter because the government are signing off on it. So billionaires
Exactly.
test won't matter. So that'll be out of the way. So it's just
Fucking, it feels like EastEnders. Yeah, you're right. Not X Factor. It's like EastEnders at the moment for us.
Chuckle
fans, yeah.
vision, actually.
yeah.
Chuckle vision.
Watch someone put 4.5 billion in. Watch.
Ali, what you saying, mate? Just about to finish off as well. What you saying?
No. Let me try to make this quick. How the fuck did we not blow this lot out the water 4-1?
Oh, don't even bother thinking. Don't even trying to work.
Bro, no. Some games we need to talk about it. How the fuck did we lose to Arsenal? How did we draw with them at the bridge? How did we lose to Everton C team? No, fuck that. How did we not go through the Champions League? Let's answer the question, everybody. We can't fucking finish. I don't care if it's Lukaku. I don't care if it's Havertz. I don't care if it's Werner. I don't care if it's Pulisic. I don't give a fuck if it's Jorginho. I don't care if it's Conte in the box. We can't fucking put a ball in the back of the net. Oh my god, I have to calm the fuck down. I'm at work. It's oh my god, bro.
Cali, man.
Listen. No. It's a disgrace, bro. I don't give a fuck. That's the worst Man United team I've seen since my dad put the sperm in my mother. I don't understand. I swear. Bro, name me a worse Man United team. Name me a worse Man United team, please.
You can't. I said it as well. You can't. It's impossible.
The worst part about it is I'm looking at this shit. How did we go? And people really don't understand. We weren't that far off City and Liverpool. We just needed a couple of additions, a proper fucking striker whenever that's going to happen. And then we just needed to reinforce our back line, add a creative midfielder, and we were in this fucking title race. Now, we need 3 defenders, a creative midfielder, someone to replace Jorginho, 2 fucking forwards, and a striker. And you tell me how long you think that's going to take. We don't have
4 or
Roman
5
anymore.
years.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years.
I want to know something.
No, to be honest with you, I
4 or 5 years.
don't want to say I really
windows.
don't want to say we're fucked, but we're in for what I call the trying times, guys. We're not gonna fade
everyone.
into oblivion, but we're not in this title race for the next few years.
Please understand, right, that
I agree.
we are in I hate the word, we are into a 4 or 5 year transition period right now.
Yeah.
We're getting the deadwood
I
out,
said that.
getting it in, and trying to do. I don't know what model they're going to go after. Whether it's going to be the same as Liverpool. If it is the same as Liverpool, it took look how long it took them. It took 3 to 4 transfer windows to get everything correct that they wanted.
When do you think the transition started? I think it started with actually Mourinho.
It wasn't that's not
Transition
true.
will start when the owners take over.
Should start when the owners take over. That wasn't
No,
transition.
yeah,
that was just
we've
just
never
bad
done this.
Oh,
before.
what? Now you're saying we're gonna have 5 years ahead? Oh my God.
4 to 5 years. Yes.
Yeah, of
Do you
course
know-
we
do
will.
you know-
Depends
Listen,
on it. Depends.
Winter
Depends who the-
Winter Surfer speaking facts. When Mourinho left the second time, what happened to us?
Yeah.
We were dead in the water in the league for about 3 to 5 years.
Do you know the only way to get all the deadwood out is to accept what anyone offers for them.
But we
So
won't.
if I don't care if you think what they're worth, what were you going to get? That's why. Oh, we'll pay 6 million. Oh, I want 10. No, take the 6 million and go. Get these guys
Robert
out.
Ratman.
Bubba Rahman, I don't care. 1 million, 500 grand, I don't care. Take the loss. Because
How
I tell
many-
you why, what's the point of signing for an extra year? You're just wasting money. It's just wasting money. Just
No,
get
of
rid.
course. It's
Get
just
out. Get
Not
out.
just that. It
Winter Surfer. You
depends
look at it,
who
look
the
how
man.
much dead wood.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
It
Go ahead,
depends who
Matty.
the owner is. It depends who the owner
Yes.
is. That's
what I mean,
it.
but my
If
advice to
it's
you, Matty-
if it's Radcliffe, you're looking at 10 years. If you're looking at Bowley, it could be 5, it could be 2 or 3. You don't
My
know.
s-
It all depends on
simple
who the
advice to be
the
to
owner's
them-
going to be.
My simple advice would be the first meeting after, the meeting after Tuchel was to do the stadium. The first meeting is like, who do you want and who do we need to ship out? And then if I was advising them, I'd advise you take whatever you're given for these players because they're not worth what you think they are.
Oh
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
They're not worth it. Just get them and add that to whatever, to the transfer budget, whatever. But
Oh.
get the wages off as well because some of these guys are earning 100k or over, and it's absolutely
Absolutely.
crippling us. Yeah, we have one of the highest wage bills, if not the highest wage bill in the Premier League, or one of them, and in sport, and it's just not feasible because they're not worth it. We've got players like Matt Miazga and Baba Rahman still here 7 years later. 7 years.
Matt Miazza. Ross
Matt
Barkley,
Miazga's
I'm
still on the
fucking
books. Bakayoko's coming back this summer.
Oh
Bakayoko's
yeah, I
coming
forgot
back
to
this
say
summer.
that Bakayoko is getting terminated, so he's coming back here.
He's coming back here. Ross Barkley's still there. Ross
Guys,
Barkley's still on, man.
I just want to finish off by saying, just like we are going to finish off now because I've got to shoot, but just want to finish off by saying, breaking news, guys: Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his and Ineos bid is around 4 billion in total, being put forward to Chelsea this morning. He's already spoken to the government about fast tracking this money as well, so saying that he could get it done quickly, which may work in the favour of the Chelsea hierarchy, the government, and everyone involved as well. Where does it leave the likes of the strong bid that we heard earlier today of Todd Bowley, who is supposedly leading the race for the Chelsea owner saga? I just got a feeling there's going to be a couple more twists in this, but I agree.
Doesn't the £500 million reports now seem linked to this? Doesn't they seem linked now? That reports today about £500 million.
It just seems like it defeats the object of each individual report that comes out every time. It would just go around in circles, and I agree. I'm at a point now where I'm getting bored with the owner saga. We need a final conclusion to this. Get it done. They said Monday this week. We're being told it might be even as Monday or Tuesday.
No. It has to be Monday.
Next Friday, going. Oh, we still ain't got an owner, because that again could happen. We were told by the end of May, beginning of the first week of May, that it would be sorted. Let's see what happens. But this
What
Monday,
happened to money not being a factor, man?
We need to
Tuesday then. Whatever.
we need to sort this by Wednesday next week, the latest, because currently, right now, we know for a fact, like Koundé's on a verbal agreement, and we're not even supposed to be talking to him. So we know we're gonna get. Like, I promise you for sure, we're getting Koundé.
I already spoke to Koundé. He's coming. It's all right.
Yeah. we need another defender.
He's coming,
and we need a midfielder. That would be the 3 players I focus on coming in, and then as Winter Surfer said, ship the deadwood out.
What going on?
The deadwood.
I think there's going to be a big sort of shift. I got this weird feeling a lot's going to be going on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the likes of people like Alonso and Barkley getting new contracts, and then
Alonso's staying.
That's the only positive I have with new owners coming in now. It means, at least for now, if they're willing to invest in a squad, at least we know they can build we can get a few good players, at least for the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have a foundation. At least that's what I'm hoping, anyway. So.
My thing is, if it's done correctly, guys, as crazy as it sounds, we'll be better off than we were with Roman. But if it's done
Exactly.
incorrectly, we just turned into Arsenal. And that's why it's so scary. It's like there's no in between. It's either it's done correctly, we embed more of the youth, we bring back Broja, we bring back Gallagher, we plug them in the team for depth, and if they're good enough, make them start. And then we start incorporating little signings each year. That will bring us back to the point where we can compete with City and Liverpool. But the problem is, City and Liverpool are already better than us now. They're going to keep getting better. And they're at the point where they don't have to add 2 or 3 signings. City adds Holland, game over. While we're still trying to catch up, it's game over. Like,
yeah, no, I hear you, guys. I think we need to shoot though. Make sure you smash the like button and that subscribe to the channel. I was going to try and get in an Everton preview. It might be later tonight.
God.
If I don't do that, then I'm not going to be doing a preview whatsoever because I'm out all tomorrow. And then Sunday, I might just do a reaction because I'm bored.
Save your energy, Jem.
I don't even know. Jem, if we lose to Everton, if we lose to fucking, I don't give a fuck with Frank Lampard. If we lose to Everton, I will be back. Just know.
Well, no, we'll be here
have a look at Matt Law's, Jem.
Yeah.
Look at Matt Law quick.
Law. What are we saying, Matt Law?
Matt Law from around the corner.
What Nizar Kinsella's just come out with a minute ago as well, just said that. So there was a mystery bidder all along. Question mark. You remember they were saying there was a mystery bidder all the time?
Yeah.
So what's Matt Law saying? Okay, this every time I'm about this, something always breaks around when I'm live, doesn't it? It's funny. Worth pointing out, it's an offer worth up to 4.25 billion, 2.5 billion up front, roughly the same as all the other bids that have also committed to spend upwards of 1 billion on future investments. Huge development, though.
Nah, this is just slowing the process down. Honestly,
so basically, we have.
1 second. What Pies has said here is so right. Not bothered about money. Want to know what the model is, what the plan is for the board and the transfers and structure. That's
100% fact.
Absolutely 100%.
Yeah, no, so I agree. Guys, big up yourselves. We will bring out an owner show once we know the owner is. I ain't going to keep coming on here telling you. If there's news that breaks and we're on a reaction show or a preview show, we'll talk about it. But I ain't doing an owner show until we know the owner is. I'm done now. I can't keep doing. I've done 3 owner shows in like 2-3 weeks, thinking that the owners were coming out. 3 weeks later, I'm still sitting here waiting to do an owner show. So, anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good bank holiday weekend. Hopefully, Chelsea win on Sunday. If I don't get a preview in, I'll be back for match reaction as well.
It was absolutely a fucking disgrace.
Take care of yourselves, guys. We'll be back soon. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.